In this week's episode, we're taking a classic from Italy and bringing it across the water, Fettuccini Alfredo. But we're blending Romano cheese with Parmesan in a creamy sauce and topping that with some chicken. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Come on, we're gonna set it on the table, say grace, and have us a good meal. Hey, thank y'all for stopping by the barn on a breezy afternoon. It's what you call a skirt alert. Put a rock in your pocket, something, because it's going to blow you away if you can. If Shannon want to pan around there and show you that tree, I mean, things are beginning to whoop pretty good. That's why we're under here. Y'all wouldn't have seen it stay on the plate today. But what are we talking about? A pasta dish. Yes, the cowboy loves pasta, but not just no ordinary pasta. We're talking about Fettuccini Alfredo.
No, you have to say it Italian.
Okay, let me think about it a minute. Fettuccini Alfredo. Is that really good right there? Okay, that's cowboy Italian, okay? So that's, hey, and I'm sure there was some Italian cowboys. I just nearly know there was that took care of cattle over there in that country. Well, at this time, I need you to take your pasta water and go to getting it hot because we have to explain this pasta. And you see right here where it says Fettuccini. Fettuccini.
Nope.
No?
Try again.
Feta.
You gotta do it Italian.
Fettuccini.
There you go.
Yes, and look at it. It is not like spaghetti. It is a pretty wide little noodle, and they're gonna be so good because the wider that noodle, the more that sauce is gonna get just to cling to it. But what made this dish what it was? Well, there was a chef over there, but I'd say right. Whoa, we have a pasta expert in the house. Let me just see. Do you think maybe so that you would, huh?
Oh, maybe.
How about you, Duker? Scared him. So how was this dish made so famous and so popular? Well, it started way back in about 1914, and the guy's name was Alfredo de Lilio. I think I'm pretty close to that, but y'all can look it up and y'all can say the cowboy don't speak Italian either. Alfredo's wife was pregnant and had a child, so he went in the kitchen and he's thinking, what can I do? I've got to feed my wife something that is so good to nourish her. And what did he come up with? Fettuccine noodles. Yes, butter, some Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of water, and that's it. And he made it, and Major says the Italians are here. So she loved the dish so much that he thought, hey, this is a great dish, I should put it in a restaurant. But at the time, right after World War I, restaurant business wasn't good. But in the roaring 20s, the tourists began to come back to Italy over there and look around and think, how great was the food there? It was amazing. And who was it that really made this dish come to America? Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford. They went over there, two great actors, and they found this dish and they found Alfredo and they thought, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. All the history is done. It's time to start the cooking. So water is boiling over there. We're going to dump a whole pound of this in that little pot. Traditionally, this dish, remember, with just simple ingredients of butter and Parmesan, Reggiano cheese, and then you just let it all mix in there together, and it made sort of like a creamy sauce. But hey, I'm going to cowboy up this thing just a little bit, we are, and we're going to have to add some what? You knew it was coming. Some heavy cream, some butter, some garlic. But folks, we got to have some meat in there. Do you know how my spectators here would feel if we tried to just put this pasta dish on the table and it didn't have no meat in it? I'd get dog bit. So I have one chicken breast, and we have, as you've seen me, pounding it down there with a rolling pin. Chicken has a membrane on it, and when you break that membrane, it's going to accept seasoning better, but also it's going to fry a little quicker, so we ain't got to wait quite so long. So what are we going to season this little chicken with? Well, first of all, I'm going to put some of our mesquite seasoning on him because it really goes well on some chicken. It does. Also, we're going to add some smoked paprika in there because I really think it goes well with some chicken. I do. And you can't just put this on there and then think, well, that is good. That stuff, we need to do this to it. Give it a little love. Give it some rubbing in there so everything will be good. And then we're going to turn it over. Same thing on the other side. We have our 8-inch field skillet, and I'm going to tell you, it's pretty warm because it's been preheating there a little. And folks, I like to do this chicken in some olive oil and some butter. But guess what? The butter is over here and not with me, so hang on. In the skillet go the butter. Just run it around there and keep an eye on your pasta because this is boiling a little and you want that stuff to become what? Al dente. A little olive oil Yes, in goes the bird. And folks, the lid is most important because we want to sort of get that steaming effect in there too to keep that chicken as tender as we can. So we're going to go pretty low on the heat and put that lid on there and steam. Probably take about maybe 5 minutes each side with a low heat like that, but it will be so tender when it comes out of there. Everything I'm going to cook in is probably going to be 99% cast iron, and I do like a lid for stuff, especially if I'm trying to get some vegetables in there or we're trying to sort of get a steam effect on this chicken. Now this field come with this lid, but you be thinking, I have some old skillets in there in the house, but I ain't got no lid for some of them. Look in your drawer, maybe you got some of them skillets that is got a glass lid that'll fit on there. I've even turned one skillet on top of another skillet to make a lid. So look around, I bet you can find something that'll fit if you ain't got a lid.
I've heard that when you know pasta's done, if you throw it to the wall, it'll stay.
To me, if you throw in pasta at the wall, look to me like you just didn't want your pasta. I mean, we'll try that even again. I'll get way back over here. See this? All right, it's gone. And that water's hot when you just reach in there and get a pasta. Who told you heard this? Okay, see it? Now, I want you to look first, then we'll throw some. I always check my pasta, especially if it's going to be in a sauce again, where if you just pinch it a little and it comes like that, I think it's pretty close. Now, we'll throw it up there again the wall again. What? Well, the chicken is done. It's sitting over there, and the very same skillet we're going to return back to this little low heat over there. Now, if there was any little burnt pieces or anything left in there, be sure that you get them out. And to that, what? We're going to add a stick of butter. Now remember, I told you I was going to cowboy this thing up a little bit. And what are we using? Folks, they ain't paying me to tell you this, I promise, but get you some Kerrygold butter. It is some of the best stuff in the world. We're going to let that butter completely melt there, and then we're going to add 3 minced garlic cloves to it. We're going to bring out some flavor. Whoa, 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 what's going on there? Well, the garlic has been cooking about a minute or two. Remember, stir it constantly. We don't want to burn that garlic. And then we're going to put in some of that what? Heavy cream. Ooh-wee. I'm liking that stuff already. Make sure that you keep stirring it as you add that cream. We want it to thicken just a little. Just make sure it all gets in there. And remember, we're on low heat. Well, I can tell you right now, this has reduced down some and got a little thicker, and the flavor's coming out of there. I could just quit right now, get me a coffee cup, pour that in there, and have me some drinking. It'd be good. But we got it some grated Parmesan, and we're going to just sprinkle her in there as we continue to stir. Don't just dump it all in there, because I don't want you to get no clumpies of cheese in there. So just keep funneling it in there gradually. And then we're going to add that other kind of cheese that I have trouble saying. What is the name of it, Chan? Reggiano, something, Italiano, some kind of cheese. So
what's it say?
It says Romano. We're going to blend this right back in there with it, a little bit at a time. I can already tell you, Beagle, Dad is probably not going to share this dish with you. Now,
Ray just got cheese on top of him.
He does. If you accidentally get so much cheese in here that gets so thick you can't hardly stir it, and it won't pour over that sauce, that's why I'm going to give you this tip. When you drain that pasta, save some of that water. So if you need to thin this back, that'll do a great job. It will. So however thick you would like it, if you want it to be over there where it's really creamy and sort of this texture, I'd quit right now. If you want it a little thicker, hey, add a little more cheese to it. We're going to call that sure enough enough. Get that stirred. Get it all blended well to where it's smooth. And you can use a whisk if you need to. But if you're cooking it in a cast iron skillet, just don't use nothing that's metal against metal. Ooh-wee, you don't gotta go to Italy. The Cowboy has done put the fettuccine Alfredo in there with a little bit of the Parmesan and also what? A little bit of sprinkling of that parsley on there. Now, if you've got some fresh, hey, I'm all for it, but hey, it's pretty hard to find fresh down here on anything with the summer and the winter that we're having. So, hey, we've had some really good help. 4 of them were here when we started. Now it's down to 2. I don't know where they went. Look at this one here. He's getting sleepy just waiting. He said, come on with it, Dad. Big, thank you for always being the best taste tester ever. Yes, there you go. And the little mage, thank you. So now it is my time. And Shan, I want to thank you so much for introducing me to pasta that didn't come out of a can. Shan tells me you got to twirl this stuff around there. Yes. And then get you some of that chicken and give it another twirl. What do you do with this piece that's trying not to go with you, Shan? Huh? Can you tell me?
Bite it off. Oh. I can only imagine how good that tastes.
Whew. Alfredo, I just want to tip my hat to you, brother, because I am glad you sent some fettuccine over here to the grocery store. The flavors you get out of that, folks, sure, traditional would not have the cream in there, but when you can blend that cream back in there that the garlic has been cooking in that butter, it make your taste buds just jump up and down, be happy, like, woo, woo, I'll be happy, I'll be happy. Woo, we done swirled the pasta plumb out, we have. Folks, if that stuff don't make you jump up and down in the kitchen and holler at your neighbor, you better get some help, because that stuff right there is probably as good as anything I've eaten the last 3 or 4 weeks. I'm telling you for sure. Now, as always, I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans that have kept that old flag flying around camp wherever we may be. We just lift you all up. We're thankful for you. And folks, hey, I've always told you, never look down on somebody unless you're reaching down to give them a hand up. But folks, let's lift everybody up. You got 2 hands, don't just reach one down there. Get your neighbor 2, pick them all up, and let's just be the best neighbors we can, the best friends we can, because friends and family are what hold the world together, and that's what it's all about. Now, everything we use today will be listed down there in the little link below. You won't be without it. Go to the website, a lot of recipes there that you can click on. Andy, Shan, thank you. Big, Major, I just appreciate it so much, y'all braving the elements out here in the wind. To the rest of you, come on in here, because we fitting to get one of them great big old hugs we are. And I'm going to see you down the Fettuccine Alfredo Cowboy up trail. So this is really a simple dish. Ooh. Hang on just a minute, Shan. I have trouble with this.
Hey.
Beagle dog.
I want the action out of it.
Action. How about now? Hey, how do we do it? Here we go.
45.
Alfredo de Lilio.